Good morning, I'm Rebecca, and you are going to disagree with at least one thing I say in this video. Isn't this the best shirt? This website, Christian Strong, not trying to be a jerk, but don't waste your time. It's a bad website. They had this shirt, which was poppin', and they had a Coca-Cola, not make fun of, parody shirt. That one was good. The rest were cringe. Unless you're a wine mom, a Christian wine mom, in which case I suggest you check out that website. But that's not what this is about. This is a quick video. This is gonna be quick. I'm not trying to waste your time. I'm not trying to waste my time. I have been staying up to date, not watching every video, but watching the main good ones. Like Dangelos video was great. I'll link it right here and right here. So check that out if you haven't seen it and you don't understand everything that happened in the Shane Dawson thread about pedophilia and bestiality and all this stuff. I hear people a lot saying, his humor was offensive then, it's offensive now, why hasn't he been canceled yet, why wasn't he canceled back then, the excuse that humor was different then is such BS, which personally I think it is. I mean, just because people were doing blackface doesn't mean that people were doing literal minstrel shows. People don't seem to understand why he's kept his audience this whole time, and it's because we were kids, dude. And I saw someone comment that they were talking about his original apology for blackface from a few years ago that wasn't a apology even really. It was a really bad apology, and he was like, my audience didn't find it offensive at the time, but that doesn't mean other people weren't offended, and I realize that now. And someone quoted that part of the video in their comment, and they were like, maybe it's because we were literally 9 years old, dude. And if you think that's an exaggeration, I started watching Shane when I was 10. When he first started getting big on YouTube for all his crazy, wacky, racist, pedophilic skits. The sexualization of children was normalized. The sexualization of children as a punchline was normalized. Racism and racism as a punchline were normalized. Basically, all the bad things were normalized in his videos. There were kids younger than me watching him. And what really I find disgusting, I saw this clip of him on YouTube. I was looking for clips. There's this clip of him being interviewed by a little kid. This is from when his I think he might have made his Not Cool movie already, but he was still making really offensive content and stuff some years back. This little girl had a channel where she would interview people, celebrities or whatever. And so this girl is literally sitting in his living room, or he's sitting in her living room or something, and she's like, can I watch your videos, or who are your videos for, or something. He's like, if you're older than 18 you can watch my videos. I think it's so pathetic, honestly, that he would try to use that as an excuse, literally going on a 10-year-old or something's channel, she was young, to let her interview you, but then saying, oh, but don't watch my channel unless you're 18 plus. Why are you letting a little kid interview you then? Why do you think she knows you? It's a really pathetic attempt to rid himself from any guilt of preying upon the minds, hearts, and souls of children for financial gain and for fame. And what I mean by that is by exposing children, and you see your analytics, okay? And even if when he first started and started getting big, even if he didn't have the same analytics that we have now then, you could still tell. People would say that they were kids. I was a kid, I didn't have his analytics, but I knew that his videos were kids because other kids were fans of him. Kids commented on his videos. He's been a channel for kids. Even now, this freaking 30-year-old man makes videos targeted at teenage girls. He knew. I think it's really fair to say that he knew that it was children watching his content and he just didn't care. But yeah, he would expose children to these racist jokes, these pedophilic jokes. I don't even remember how much of his content I saw. I mean, some of these clips have seemed familiar, and I remember laughing when I saw them as a kid. It's disgusting, honestly. It's crazy how, as a kid, you're still learning what's funny. You aren't born with a certain sense of humor. You develop the type of humor of those around you, and how do you do that? Well, someone says something and everyone laughs. And as a little kid, even if you don't get the joke, you learn, oh, that's a joke, it's funny, you laugh, ha ha ha. So when you teach kids, here's something racist, ha 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 ha, they're gonna copy that because they're blank slates. They don't have a sense of humor yet. They're still developing a personality. Like, they don't know what is or isn't funny. You have to teach them. So to see an adult totally, like, normalizing all of this and making jokes out of all of this, like, I see how it corrupted me. I mean, I was a big fan of Onision too. I was a fan of both of them. Shane Dawson did a disgustingly good job at distancing himself from Onision when everyone turned on Onision. And I think they are way more similar than any of us really realized. They both sexualized children and tried to make a punchline out of it and failed. They both said deeply offensive things about, gosh, racism, ableism, sexism, I mean, all of it. Like, they both early on got famous for the exact same type of content, and so it blows my mind how Shane just, like, kind of weaseled out of that one. So how come I didn't turn against him once I got old enough to not like his content, right? Because I was in high school, I think maybe 14 or so, I stopped really liking his content, which honestly, now that I think about it, isn't even that old, and it just goes to show how bad his content was. For you to be too offensive for a 14-year-old who grew up on the internet already watching your content for years, like that? I remember watching the first few episodes of Hey It's Millie, and I remember them making me kind of uncomfortable because of how arousingly sexual they tried to portray Millie, the 8-year-old puppet. The joke about her was that being molested as a baby had turned her into like a massive horn dog slut at age 8. A pedophile's wet dream, I would say. It's pure evil. It's disgusting. The Fine brothers are evil and disgusting for making that show. Shane Dawson is evil and disgusting for making that show, and for exposing me, a child, to it. Since I grew up idolizing racist pedophiles, I was groomed into a relationship fresh out of legal childhood, freshly 18, groomed up by a racist pedophile into an abusive relationship that has damaged me to this day and lasted for 2 fucking years. I know this happened to other people because when they were grooming their audiences for children to violate and to use for humor or sexual gratification, they were grooming their entire audience for any pedophile who wanted to come along and finish up the grooming process. I mean, I never could have imagined that growing up watching people like this on YouTube could have damaged me and other people so severely. Don't get me wrong, I'm fine. I'm a relatively normal person with a fucked up childhood and needs to go to therapy like a lot of people. But I'm not like fully corrupted by Shane Dawson. I'm fine, but also, like, I'm not fine, or I wasn't fine. It has taken me and is taking me at least a decade to work through and process the programming that was put into me from age fucking 10 to 14 or 15. That's 4 or 5 years of being just programmed with racism and pedophilia and just all kinds of horrible, evil things. It explains why my dumb ass, who's fucking Jewish and whose great-grandparents escaped the Holocaust, I didn't really know at the time, but my freaking dumb ass thought it was funny to draw swastikas because it's offensive. People get offended. You're not supposed to. Get it? Haha, you're not supposed to, and I'm doing it. Haha, funny. It's probably still there. I'm so sorry to God. I will always be sorry to God for this, even though it's just a symbol on a tree. Like, I carved a swastika into a tree at the Boys and Girls Club across from our school. I carved a swastika into the tree, and I was like, oh, I carved a swastika. It explains why I thought racism was funny. It explains why I believed racist lies that were told to me in my late teens and early adulthood that dragged me down the alt-right pipeline. I mean, this shit ties into my life so fucking much. I mean, following people like this literally helped form my personality as it was still forming. My personality was molded to their disgusting, evil behavior. And I was a kid. They were fucking adults. By the way, guys, this video is not gonna be talking about James Charles or Jeffree Star or Tati Westbrook, okay? Jeffree Star is a manipulative, blackmailing, evil person who's friends with a minimum of 5 convicted sex offenders, some relating to children. James Charles, he's bullied children, and he also is going out partying without a mask. So James Charles is just awful. Tati Westbrook is the most privileged grown adult I've ever seen. She's one of the nice Karens who like doesn't realize she's a Karen, but she really, really is a Karen. Like, she's not gonna be like, let me talk to your manager. She's gonna be like, I know it's not your fault, but can I talk to a manager, please? Because this is really unacceptable, even though it's the policy and it was written on your receipt. This video is not about them. They're all awful. I don't know why I ever wasted so much time following all the Dramageddon crap. They're all just awful. I know there are nice people in the makeup community, but I'm not even like into makeup anyways anymore. The most famous people in the community are all trash, and that's just how it goes. I don't know how that happened. I think honestly we're all just trash, so we idolize trash, and then we find out trash is trash because the dress and the mask fall off of it. We're like, you're trash too, but I thought you were perfect because I idolized you like a god. Which is why idolatry is not good, guys. Maybe the Bible has good advice sometimes. I don't know. I'm just rambling. I just wanted to get this off my chest, y'all. I just want to get this out there into the world, okay? Oh, by the way, I also want to say too, I almost forgot. The way I got back into Shane is I didn't watch him for years, right? For years. Freshman year of high school, stopped watching him. Maybe 4 or 5 more years later, let me think. So that would be like 2016, 2017, maybe even 2018. He was like in the middle of his food videos or like conspiracy video phase or something when Bobby Burns made his video about him, and I was a fan of Bobby Burns at the time, and I was like, oh, Shane Dawson, I remember him, that guy was funny. Because like as a kid, you don't like, if you don't rewatch his clips and videos as an adult, like, you don't realize how disgusting everything you were exposed to was. It's like videos that I thought were harmless and funny as a kid were literally programming me to normalize pedophilia. But anyways, I wasn't a fan of his conspiracy videos or anything because honestly, I'd already been in the conspiracy scene. If I was gonna watch conspiracy videos, it was gonna be like 6-hour-long lectures. Okay, I wasn't gonna watch Shane Dawson scratch the surface of what I already knew about. But then I heard people raving about how his documentaries, his little videos diving into his life were so good, and he came out with that series confronting his dad, and I had, been a fan of his, so I knew that he had talked about how his dad was like not good, he was like an alcoholic who hit them or something, and I was like, interesting, okay, so let's see what goes on here. And it was really great. When he didn't involve other people in his crap, it was actually really good. That's kind of when I started watching his videos again, and I liked that his personality had changed. I mean, he did the offensive humor, but he would always be like, actually, like, no, I'm sweet and I love you guys, I'm a very nice person kind of vibe. Like, kind of like what he does now, but with deeply problematic offensive humor attached to it. Juxtapose something only a child would fall for. Man, my Tourette's has been so bad recently because the entire United States is falling apart. It's like my Tourette's can't handle it. Anyways, I thought his personality had changed. It seemed like he kept the good vibes, caring about people aesthetic. I mean, I didn't see it as an aesthetic. I saw it as him growing as a person at the time. But he got rid of all the offensive humor, and, I wasn't really around for, like, the Jessica Lee? I don't remember how you pronounce it, but I wasn't around for when she made that video about Shane. People were still criticizing him basically until he officially fully stopped, and I didn't really follow him for a lot of that. I think I'd watched his coming out his bi video, and that's it. So like, I did miss some stuff, and then I wasn't prioritizing racism, and I knew that he had done blackface, but because I'd grown up with it being normalized, I saw it as like, oh look, here's an apology video, and his audience wasn't offended, and he's right. His audience wasn't offended. I wasn't offended, but it's good that he's stopping because other people are offended when his his audience was fucking children. Of course they weren't offended. Anyone who wasn't still developing their brain was offended, probably. Except for, like, his fucking mom, who was just cool with all of it, which blows my mind, because she always seems so sweet. And she's a Christian lady, and I'm like, how can your God be black, literally according to scripture, and you're gonna, like, support your son doing minstrel shows for money? Like, who hurt her? Who damaged her to where she was, like, chill with, like, the pedophilic jokes? And, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, that's how I became a fan again, was that I came back, missed some of the controversies, didn't prioritize others enough, and I fell for the new Shane Dawson facade. I stopped getting into makeup so much, and I watched the Jeffree Star series, but, you know, even though I didn't hate it, like, a lot of people did, like, I also at the time didn't see it as, like, this manipulative ploy conspiracy thing. Now I'm like, shit, I'll believe anything. This guy's nuts and evil, and he's friends with Jeffree Star, who's nuts and evil, and why was I ever a fan of either of them? What is it about me? I don't think it's just my damaged past. I mean, I hope it's not, because that's something I can't control. That just happened to me as a child, having a rough childhood, you know what I mean? That would suck if that is the reason that I keep falling for this kind of stuff. But I'm also very trusting, I'm very loving, and, you know, I can be a bit naive, I think. Why did I fall down the alt-right pipeline? Why did I believe that Crystal Ball from The Hill was any sort of help to anything I care about? Because all she does is let fascists walk all over her and simp for fascism and try to hurt Joe Biden from winning this election. Not like I want Joe Biden to win, I just want Donald Trump to lose. And she's like, oh, we need to, like, not vote, which is exactly what Republicans want. How did I fall for her shit? Like, how did I believe Shane Dawson's obviously terrible trash non-apologies? How did I become a Jeffree Star fan? I think part of it is ignorance. Not doing proper research. I think when people are calling someone out, I need to start doing research, honestly, because, like, I've just kind of let what was provided to me float in front of my eyeballs, and if I happen to see something float in front of me that's offensive enough, then I'm like, wow, that's awful. I'm gonna not pay attention to that person. I'm not gonna give them my support anymore. But if I would literally just turn my damn head around, I would see all this other horrible stuff floating around over here, and it's like, oh, I could have probably just, oh, you know, probably didn't have to wait for it to be shown to me. Yeah, I think that's what it is. You know, I've been wondering this for weeks, and I think just talking it out on video right now, I realized that's what it is. That I haven't been doing enough of my own research personally into those who I should. There we go. That's been my problem, and now I know how to fix it, I think. I mean, who knows? There might be other problems too, but thinking about it, that really is it. I see it reflected in the ignorance of other people around me when I try to share, you know, truth about Donald Trump using Nazi symbols and signaling to white supremacists and Nazis, you know what I mean? People don't really want to believe it, and then they're like, well, I haven't seen that. Where'd you hear that? I didn't hear that. And I literally just, like, link them an article or link them a video. It's like, did you look? No, they didn't, and neither did I. So I need to stop being so annoyed by that, because clearly 24 years old, couldn't figure that out yet. I had created this blind spot. Like, I was doing all this research over here, like reading scripture, studying the Bible, studying geography, studying science, studying politics, all this stuff, but then, like, people who I support was like this blind spot that I left for Satan to literally just, like, work behind my blind spot. Oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. Oh, thank you, Jesus, for giving me revelations right now. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is gonna heal my life so much. It's like this blind spot I was like, why do I keep falling for this stuff? It's because I don't research who I support. Here's the motherfucking tea. That's such an old meme, I'm sorry. Anyways, that's my video. Thanks for watching me ramble. I hope you enjoyed, hope you found it entertaining, hope you found it informative or interesting watching me self-therapy in front of a camera or something, I don't know. I just wanted people to understand. His fans were children who were literally, like, corrupted by being exposed to that, and now we're all adults like, what the fuck, Shane? What the fuck, Shane? Like, I'm trying to make it funny and entertaining, but also, like, it makes me furious. So I'm gonna breathe, I'm gonna go get some responsibilities done today, I'm gonna go do some studying, maybe job hunt, hopefully I reopen my unemployment insurance case. We'll see what comes of that. Job market is dry mid-pandemic, guys. It is dry. So, if you liked, go ahead and click like. If you disliked, feel free to dislike as well. If you want to be shouted out in my next video, go ahead and leave a comment, and as long as you aren't really rude or stupid, then I will likely like your comment. So, go ahead and leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell. What am I?